Shalom Yah, Bashem Yashar Barakatham, Yah Shamar Latham, Bashem Yahshai. This is the I.S.U.P.K Canada Sabbath service. We're going to be continuing reading from where we left off. I'm going to open up the Sabbath service. I'm Priest and Officer 1000 Zubadra Ban Banyamyan under Commandant General YAHANNA. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. La Yasha Allah, which means to Israel. Men of Israel, Akwathvim, Sar HaKodam, Sar Panya HaKodam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to start with the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, Matthew 6, verses 8 to 13. Abanawa, Shabashamayam, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Thaba'ah, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayam, Lathananawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabwathnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabwathinawa, Wala'ah, Thabiyanawa, Banasayawan, Abba, Hawashaina, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahataparath, La'awalamyam, Aman. What we just read in English, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory. So be it. The prayer for power in Hebrew. Abanawa. Salakim. Yahweh. Ba'asham. Hawashai. Yahwashai. Babakasha. Lathanlanawa. Haka. Haka. Larpa'ah. Kamakala. Bukamadawa. Haka. Latahar. Hamatazariah. Haka. Lahakwayam. Hamathayam, Haka, Arakawa, Hatama'ala, Lagarshan, Ba'asham, Yahushai, throughout Aman. Lord, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahaharya, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Aizarya, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'arataza, Ayanathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Alyanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shalmar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tizalka, Alyan, Yamyanka, Yamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayra, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamar, Kalrai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'athka, Wabawa'athka, Ma'aitha, Wa'aid Iwalam. In English, I will lift up my eyes onto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Bless Israel. Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Barak Lanawa, Wayasha Allah, Waha Baya Saparim, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Thawada Aman. Lord, in the name of Yahushai, bless us and Israel and the school. In the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Sir, you may turn and be seated. All right, so we're going to continue where we left off. The last time we were reading Genesis 41. We read Genesis 41 up until verse 41. So we're going to start from 42 and read 42 to 48. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 48. So we're going to read Genesis 40, 48 in the Hebrew. Wiyasar, para aha, ath, taba, I thawa, ma'al, yarwa, wiya, than, tha, al, ya, yawsa, salakia, yawsa, wiya, labash, athawa, bagadiya, shash, wiya, sham, rabad, Hazah haba, salakia, hazahab, tazawa, ara, 43. Waya rakab, athawa, bama rakabath, hama shana, ashar, la, waya kwa'awa, lapan yawa, abaram, wana thawan, athawa, al, mala, mal, aratazah, matazah, rayam. Verse 44. Wiya amar, para aha, Allah, Yawa yawasa, anaya, para aha, waba la dayam, la, yabra yam, ayam, salakia, ayash, atha, yadawa, wa'ath, raga lawa, salakia, raga la, bama, aratazah, matazah, rayam, 45. Wiya Korah, para aha, sham, yawsa, tazapa nath, pa'i nak, wiya than, la, ath, Asa na ba Pawa Pawatya Parai Kahan Ana La Sha Wiyataza'a Yawa Yawasap Arataza Mataza Rayam 46 Waya Wasap Wayawasap Ban Shalash Yam Shana Ba'ai Mad Salakia Ba'ai Mada Lapanya Paraiha Malak Matazara Yam Waya Taza'a Yawa Yawasap Mala Panya Para Iha Waya Irab Bamal Arataza Mataza Rayam 47 Watha Aish Ha'a Rataza Basha Ba'ai Shaniya Hasha Ba'ai Laquam Tazayam 48 Waya Kuwab Taza Ath Ma Amal Shabai Shana Yam Ashar Hayawa Ba'arataza Mataza Riyam Waya Thun Amal Ba'ai Riyam Amal Shada Ha'ai Yar Ashar Sabah Ya Thaya Nathan Batha Wama Salakia Batha Wa Ka. All right, so we're going to read what we just read in the English. We're going to read what we just read in the Hebrew, but in English. All right, so where do we start? We started at 42. This is Genesis 41 and 42. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand and arrayed him in the vestures of fine linen and put a gold chain about his neck. Right, so in this, so if we're going to catch up from last time, what happened was Joseph was in jail, right? He was in jail. He helped the baker and the chief butler with dreams they were having. He interpreted them, right? So as he interpreted them, he spent some more time in jail. The Pharaoh started having dreams. None of his men could interpret them. Salakia, I believe it was the butler. The butler turned around and told him about Joseph. He remembered that Joseph helped him. So Joseph now went to Pharaoh. He was brought to Pharaoh. He interpreted Pharaoh's dreams, and he told him about the famine that's about to come. The Pharaoh decided, because you are the only one who can interpret the dreams, you're going to be my viceroy. And that's what just happened. Pharaoh made Joseph his viceroy, right? Again, this is to show you that the Lord, when you stick with the Lord, right? When you stick with our power and you stick to our traditions and keeping our laws, you could damn near rule the earth. right? Even in this kingdom, you stick with the Lord and you'll rule the earth. Right now, you see so many people waking up to the truth, right? You see them talking about Kyrie Irving and Kanye West. So I can get rid of that. You see people talking about Kyrie Irving and Kanye West, and then you've seen a bunch of effeminate men singing and dancing at the Barclays Center, right? Saying they're Israelites and they represent the truth when the truth is not in them. This is not a time to be singing and dancing. Singing and dancing is what they do in the Christian church, right? When you marching and start singing is not going to, your oppressor is not going to take you seriously, right? We're taking seriously when we keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. Joseph was taken seriously because he was with the Lord and the Lord was with him. He kept the law, statutes, and commandments that was passed down from Abraham. 43. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had, and they cried before him, bow the knee, and made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. Again, this is to show you that all you have to do is stick with the Lord. Joseph was, okay, so if I was to put it in layman terms, Joseph is vice president, right? Given we are in Canada, we don't have a vice president. We have a prime minister and then his cabinet members. Joseph was damn near the highest in the member of parliament, if we were to break it down like that, right? Pharaoh would have been prime minister and Joseph would have been right under him, riding in the second chariot, right? And everybody bowed the knee to Joseph, and he was damn near the ruler of Egypt because he was the man with the plan, right? And this is because the Lord is with him. Now look at everybody who the Lord's not with, right? The Lord is using Kanye and Kyrie Irving as vessels to bring out this truth. And all roads lead back to Commanding General YAHANNA, lead back to the I.S.U.P.K, right? You have groups that are going to put out a show, right? They're going to put on a show, a horse and pony show, and everybody's going to think they have the truth. And then they're going to go in there and see all the secrets and all the disgusting things that happen in there. And if you ask the men of the UPK, we're just going to say, we don't forget which groups have went against the Lord and went against brotherhood and said, lock niggas up without bail and killed our sisters, right? Right now, one of our sisters was murdered by her own brothers and sisters in Mexico, right? And this is because of what's happening in the world. In the world, a man could be a woman. They'll look at you and say, a man cannot put hands on a female, cannot hit a sister, but then turn around and say, but a trans man or a man who dresses up as a woman is now a woman. And it's all hell breaks loose. There's free reigns after that. This is to show you, sisters, your only protection is in the I.S.U.P.K. Right? But again, if you're not with the Lord and the Lord is not on your side, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Kobe Bryant died with money. The sister, Shanquella, right? They said she had money. She was paying for the whole trip and she passed away. The Lord is not with our people when you're not with him. He's been winking at our disobedience. And now he's executing judgment on our people, right? As well as the heathens. The Lord is damn near is right for executing judgment on the heathens, and it's a wake-up call for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. 44. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. Right. So Pharaoh's telling Joseph, like, he's a Pharaoh, right? And listen, when it comes to him and Joseph, no man can do anything without their approval. Right? And that's to show you how powerful Joseph was in this land. Right? And it's to show you how powerful you can become in the land of your captivity. 45. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphanath Panah Panah. Salaki, I mispronounced that. Pa'aniah. And he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. And Joseph went over all the land of Egypt, right? Now, listen, the Pharaoh liked Joseph so much because the Lord was with Joseph, that he gave Joseph a wife, right? This is to let you know, like listen, when the Lord is with you, even your enemies will be forced to love you because the Lord is with you. Now I'm paraphrasing that precept, right? But it's to show you that when the Lord is with you, your enemies will love you. The people that hate you, they'll turn around and love you, especially like everybody outside of Edom. Edom has a perpetual hatred for the children of Israel. And if it wasn't for Edom, right, the nations, they would just bow down to the Israelites. They would just love us because there's no reason to hate us. 46. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. 47. And in the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls, right? So Joseph, he told Pharaoh about the 7 plenteous years. He told Pharaoh that, listen, there's going to be 7 years of just good tides, right? Or good tidings, meaning there's going to be 7 years of plenty, of good harvest, of money making, right? 7 years of where we're in good standing, right? 7 years of in the green. Now, if you look at a flow chart, like when you look at a flow chart for a business, right? When it's in the green and that arrow's going up, that means the business is making money. But when the arrow's going down, or that chart starts to swing down and it's red, right? That means they're hemorrhaging, they're bleeding money, they're losing, they're not making money. Everything's going out. No money's coming in. Now, Joseph, he was there for all of it. He knew about the time when the money was coming in, right? And he knew that the earth was going to be giving handfuls to this land at the moment. And that's what he was there for. He was there to oversee it. And he gathered up all the food, 48, and he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, and the food of the field which was round about every city, he laid up in the same. And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea. Salakia. Let's read 48 again. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities. Right? So for 7 years, he gathered up all the food. He gathered up all the food in the land of Egypt. Right? And he stored it in the storehouses because he knew after this 7 years, it was going to be a terrible famine. Now you could just look in Canada right now. When the men of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge tell you that we're going through the plagues right now, right? The same plagues that were happening in Egypt is happening now. We've been seeing locusts devour plants. We've been seeing men walk around, especially that LGBTQ community. They've been walking around with boils. It's monkeypox, right? We watched another disease come and damn near just kill everybody for breathing or being too close to each other. This is the Lord telling Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it's time to separate from our oppressors. We gotta not be together with the people that hate us, right? Now listen, what the Christian church tells us is the person who murders your family member, you have to love them, right? They murdered your family members, wiped out your identity, put crack cocaine in your neighborhood. You gotta love them like they're your mother, like they're your father. The Lord never told us that. He told us to love each other. And if we trespass against each other, forgive each other, but love each other. That's who our enemy is, right? When we read love your enemy, it's talking about Israelites, not the heathen nation. The Lord wants the heathen nations to be destroyed for coming up against Israel, right? Now, you look on your shelves right now in these stores, you're slowly seeing food disappear. Not too long ago, what was it, about 3 or 4 months ago, everyone was running around saying they can't find baby formula. When the baby formula is in the mother, when the mother breastfeeds, that's how the baby eats. But they're saying we can't find baby formula, when we can't find Pampers. And it's like, listen, you might have to be old school. You might have to take a rag to your baby's behind, right? You might have to make your own baby food, because that's the time we're coming up on, where you're going to have to get in that kitchen and mush those peas and corns and carrots yourself, and mush those apples yourself, and make baby foods and preserve it and put it in jars so you can feed your children, right? The same thing we're reading now is what we're seeing in front of us. And the men of the Lord has been telling you this is going to happen for the last damn near 40, 50 years. And we're definitely not outside marching and singing, because this is not a time to sing. It's not a time to be marching, right? It's a time for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to be gathering together, not in some effeminate circle screaming, "We the 12, put him in jail with no bail." Like, who are you trying to put in jail? Right? Joseph, he loved his brothers and sisters. He loved them so much. And as you read on, you're going to find out that he loved his brothers and sisters so much, right? That he's going to give them their own land in this booming kingdom. Right. So we're going to read 49 to 55. 49 to 55 Hebrew, and come back and break it down. This is going to be a short Sabbath service. Next week we'll be back. We'll be back for a full 2 hours. This is going to be a short Sabbath service, right? Bear with us. Bear with us. The water for watching. The water for tuning in, which is thank you in the Hebrew. Again, we do have Hebrew classes for anybody who wants to learn the Hebrew, right? Tonight will be okay. So more tapes will be coming out. Right, we got some camp tapes coming out. We got some history tapes coming out. We got a bunch of content on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Right, we got a bunch of things that will be coming out. Salakia. All right, so we're going to read 49 to 55. Genesis 41, 49. Waya Tazah Bar. Yawasa Bar. Kakak Wala. Hayam. Hara Ba. Mada. Aid. Maya. Kadal. Lasapar, Maya, Ayan, Masapar, 50. Wala, Ya, Wa, Sa, Walayawasa, Yalad, Shanaya, Banya Yam, Bata, Ram, Thaba Wa, Shanath, Hara I, Ashar, Yalada, La, Atha, Asa Nath, Bath, Pawa, Ya, Parai, Kahan, a 1, 51. Waya Kwa Ra'a, Yuwa, Yawasa, Ath, Sham, Haba Kawar, Wana Shahar, Maya Nasha Salakia, Kaya Nasha Naya Alahayan, Ad Ma Ma Ya Wa'ath Ka Salakia Ka Ma Laya Wa'ath Ka Bayath Abaya 52 Wa'ath Sham Hashanya Kura Aparyam Kaya Hapa Ranaya Alahaya Ba'aratasa Aina Yaya 53 Watha Kala Yana Shaba'i Shaniya Hashaba'i Hashar Haziyah Haya Barataza Matazarayam 54 Watha Kala Yana Shaba'i Shanaya Hara'ad Bala Salakia Haba Wa'ar Kara'a Ka'a Shara Salakia Ka'a Shar Amar Yawasab Waya Haya Ra'ad Bakal Rataza Wath Waba Ka Rataza Mataza Riyam Haya Lakam 55 Watha Ra'ad Ka Arataza Matazar Yam Waya Taza Aikwa Ha'ain Allah Para'ai Lalakam Waya Amar Para'ai Laka Mataza Riyam Lakawa Yawa Yawasa Ashar Ya'amar Lakam Fa'ai Shawa. All right, so what we're gonna read now 50 Salakia. We're gonna read 59 to Salakia. We're gonna read 49 to 55. So this is Genesis 41:49. And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much until he left numbering, for it was without number. Right. So this is to let you know. Okay. So in these 7 years, it was plenty. Right. Joseph was numbering the corn and how much grain they were taking in So much that he couldn't number it no more. It was just so much. It was so vast. And this they were able to for the next 7 years because Joseph, he was good at saving. He was good at numbering, right? And now to Joseph were born two sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, bare unto him. Right? So he had two sons. Now, these sons, they were Israelites, right? They were Israelites. They were they would go on to make tribes, right? And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, right? These would be your so-called Cubans, right? Your so-called Cuban brothers. This son is the forefather of the so-called Cubans. Now, Cubans, yeah, if you're Cuban, right, and you're asking yourself, where do we come from? Well, it's right here. We're reading it right here in the story. If you're Cuban, you are the son, right, of Joseph, right? You're God's chosen people. You're not just a listen, you're not Scarface. The whole earth wants you to believe that Cubans are Scarface and are evil people and are bad people. When the Bible says Cubans are the sons of Manasseh. For God said, He has made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. Right? Joseph, it's been so long since Joseph was in his father's house. Right? Remember, his brothers left him in a hole where he was found and then sold again. Right? And now he's raised up. He's the second most powerful man in the earth at this time. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for God has caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. Right? The Lord was with Joseph, right? Just like the Lord is with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans right now. I know it doesn't seem like it. You're waking up in the poverty. You're waking up to gunshots and drug dealing, and your mother or your father's probably on drugs, or your brother was just murdered, and you don't feel like the Lord is with you, but He's with us. That's why this truth is going out in the earth right now, because the Lord is with us. Right, and He's making us fruitful. You see Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon's outside right now, right? He's on his 26 baby. So like it. He's only on 12, but his dad near like 26. He's making up. So like it's like he's trying to make up for all the babies that were lost in the abortion clinics. Right, the Lord is with him and he's fruitful. Now all these brothers have to do is come into the truth, right? And forget how famous you are, right? Be humbled by serving your brothers and your sisters, right? Because when it comes down to it, the oppressor, he's going to take everything he has from you if you just don't shut up and dribble. And here, you're going to keep everything. '53, and the 7 years of plenteous that was in the Egypt were ended. Now these 7 years have ended, right? You're seeing it. The 7 years have ended. It's like right now, right? You're seeing that the oppressor, they were just having a good time. They were having a good time destroying the lives of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? And now that time has come to an end. That time has come to an end, so much so that the Lord He's putting on a horrible time on the earth right now. Plagues keep coming, murders keep coming. There's a war about to pop off, right? People are fighting everywhere. People are dying. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are waking up to the truth, and we're finding out that it's time for us to gather together. That's why this truth is going out in the earth. right? That's why you can see this truth. It's building in the earth right now, right? It's building in the earth. You see many people are talking about, well, we know the Jews are black now. We keep hearing it. Let's research into it. And you're finding out that, listen, the Lord wants this to happen. He wants you to gather together. Right? He wants you to gather together. He wants us to come home. He wants every so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American in the I.S.U.P.K, the home of the truth. Right? We're not gonna have our brothers and sisters outside making a show of singing and dancing and just being weak. Like who the hell respects anybody who just sings and dances? Black people, y'all been singing and dancing for so long. No one respects that thing. You look at the Christian church, all they do is singing and dancing. If your leader is telling you to be outside to sing and dance, you are a Christian at heart. You're no better than the Christian church. In the United States, it was just Thanksgiving, a holiday hell day for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We stand with our Native American and indigenous brothers and sisters who the so-called First Nations of the Western Hemisphere. We stand with them in not celebrating their murder. And why would we celebrate the murder of our brothers and sisters? Right? You can't be pro-black and celebrate Thanksgiving. It doesn't work out. That's like the Jewish man saying, we're proud Jewish men, and we're going to be celebrating a German holiday that marks the day of them dying, of 6 million of them dying. That's what Thanksgiving is to the so-called Native Americans. We're going to stand with our brothers and sisters and not celebrate it. It's disgusting. It's a horrible event. It's traumatizing. It's like a woman being abused by some abuser, and then everybody getting together and saying, we're going to have a dinner to remember that she was abused, but we're going to say it's a time for family to come together. It just doesn't work out. 54. This is Genesis 41 and 54. And the 7 years of dearth began to come according as Joseph had said. Right? Remember, Joseph, he said it. You're going to have 7 years of good and 7 years of bad. 7 years of bad began. The kingdom of Esau is in a bad time right now. It's in the downswing. It's in the downswing, right? They had a time when they were up. They had a long time to be up, and now it's coming to an end, right? And soon you're going to see that sky crack and our king come out while the earth is fighting, and everyone's going to stop fighting each other to remember, oh yeah, we hate Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Those invaders look black. Let's fight them. And the dearth within all the lands, right? Meaning, listen, there was a horrible plague going on in all the land. It's a famine. It's a time when no one can eat. You see people starving right now and going crazy in your shopper stores because they're trying to eat. Right? Because they want some food. Because they know that if they don't fill their fridges up right now, it's going to be a horrible time. Most people, if you live in the city, you don't know how to survive. If you can't go to your Metro or your No Frills or your Food Basics, I don't even know if Food Basics is around. They have something else, some other green store. It used to be Price Choppers, but it's not no more. If you don't know how to go to most of us only know how to go to Walmart and pick a melon. No one knows how to grow a melon. And when you go to the Walmarts and those melons aren't in the stands, everyone starts to go crazy. And this is what's happening in Esau's kingdom right now. It's in a dark time. It's in a time where it's going to start to get dark. It's going to start to get, if you're not in the truth, you're going to be scared out of your mind. In the air, we say Most High in Christ. For damn near everything, we say Most High in Christ. They say Russia went to war with Ukraine, and we say Most High in Christ because we're not afraid. We know that everything that's going to happen right now is leading up to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans ruling the earth. Joseph was in captivity and he began to rule. This is what's going to happen for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But in all the land of Egypt there was bread. Right? Listen, everywhere outside of Egypt there was no bread. Joseph, he saved all the grain. There was bread for people. In the I.S.U.P.K, when COVID was first happening, we put out a list of things for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to do. Right? Stock up your fridge, do this, do that, do this, do that. And we survived. We had storehouses with food and water and supplies for our people, and we survived. That's because we knew to gather together. We went into our history book and we matched the times and we found out what was happening. And this history book, the Black Hispanic. Now look, people say, "What's he mean history book? That's a holy Bible." Salakia. The Black, Hispanic, and Native American man's history is in the Bible. Now, listen, Native Americans, I know you're looking at me crazy, like, yo, what is this man talking about? Right? What we're talking about is our history. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're the same people, and our history is in the Bible. And if we would just open it and go into it and read it without the veils of Christianity, we would find out that we are these people. And then you would find out that the I.S.U.P.K has been saying this for the last 50 years. And it's time to come home. It's time for us to wake up together and realize that we're the same people, we're brothers and sisters, and we need to gather together. Because without gathering together, listen, we're going to suffer. The nations hate us already. They put electric chairs in our schools. They tortured us. Every time we had a community, they burnt it to the ground. They made our brothers and sisters who are in Canada working as porters suffer. They made us not get the jobs, right? And we suffered. They put crack cocaine in our community. And now it's time for us to wake up and realize we're at war. Hey, Shalom, sis. Yahweh Shemar L'Thamba Hashem Yahushai. For tuning in. We're almost at the end. We did start a little late, but next week we'll be back to regular scheduled time, which is 12 o'clock. Right? I'm going to finish reading up the last couple verses that I have, and we're going to bring an end to the class. But you could always start it again from the beginning. Where we were reading Genesis 41, and we read from 42 to 55, and we're breaking it down. Right? And the dearth was in all the lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. 41:55, Genesis 41:55. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. Right? So now the famine came. Just like the famine is going to come to Canada. I said this earlier, remember? Not too long ago, a couple months ago, right, in the summertime, they were running around asking for baby formula, right? Where's the baby formula? We don't know how to mash up peas, and we don't know how to do this, and mothers aren't breastfeeding. They're strictly relying on the baby formula, and the baby formula wasn't found on the shelves, and everybody started going crazy. This is what we're reading right now. This is something that continuously happens throughout history, right? It happened to these Hamites, and now we're watching these Edomites and the rest of the nations go crazy for food. In the I.S.U.P.K, we don't do that because we've already been told to stock up. Because we know famine is coming. War and destruction is coming to this kingdom. Let's give the Most High a hand for that. Right? He raised up warriors because war is coming. He's raising up priests because the people need leadership. If your leadership is telling you to go march and dance like they do in the Christian church, that is bad leadership. Listen, you're in a horrible place. I advise you to get fast away from that. And Pharaoh said unto all Egyptians, go on to Joseph. Listen, remember, Joseph was with the Lord, and the Lord was with him. He became he's next to the king. He's damn near the other ruler. And the people are crying, saying, we need food. And Pharaoh's saying, listen, go to my homie Joseph. He got it for you. Because Joseph interpreted, listen, you're going to have 7 years good and 7 years bad. We look at Esau's kingdom right now. They're in the bad time. It's coming down to an end. We pray it ends tonight. We pray that Esau's kingdom ends today. Listen, as I'm speaking, we want Esau's kingdom to end so we can come into rulership. Right? Well, all black people really want to do is be left alone. And because our oppressor doesn't leave us alone, and he still decides to kill us, and he gives our killers Burger King as they exit the church. He takes them to Burger King. He gives our killers not gunshots. He gives our killers handcuffs. Listen, our killers get handcuffed and taken to jail while innocent Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans get shot in their back for walking down the street. And listen, a police officer tells a Native American, give me your ID. A Black man and a Native American or a Latino, we reach in our pocket for ID and they fill us with bullets. And say he was reaching. Well, duh, no shit, Sherlock. Salakia for my French. You told that brother and sister to reach, and then you shot him. You shot him in his back and in his face as he did what you said. And it shows you that even when you comply with these devils, they're still going to kill you. And even when you're innocent and murdered and killed unjustly, they're going to bring up something from the past that you did and say, oh, he was this in his past. Well, because they like to bring up our past, we bring up the heathens' past. They were cruel to us. And because they were cruel to us, their kingdom is coming to an end. Just like Pharaoh's kingdom is going to come to an end. Go to Joseph. What he saith, you do. This is what Pharaoh told the people to do. He told them to go to Joseph, right? What we're telling you to come to the I.S.U.P.K. and what we say, you do, because we're the only ones telling you what's happening, right? Listen, I don't give a listen. Kyrie Irving, he got millions. He'll be all right. I'm here for the brothers and sisters with no food in their fridge, right? I don't give a damn about a brother with millions. Listen, he won't say he's a Jew. He wants to be a Jew in secret. What blacks is the men that you see in the I.S.U.P.K, we go out and risk it all. We can't do this in secret. We got to do this knowing that the Lord is with us and that we got to live this and say it proudly. We live it while other people just say it. We walk it like we talk it. So with that said, we're going to bring an end to the Sabbath service. I'm going to read the Lord's Prayer and bring it close. Men of Israel, Aquafian, which are the sisters, Imagine, which means to stand, Sarapanya Hakudam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer and bring it close to the Sabbath service. The Lord's Prayer, you can find it in Matthew 6, 8-13. Abanawa, Shabashamayam, Kudash, I.S.U.P.K, Yahawah, Malak Taba'a, Ratazaka, I.S.U.P.K, Baratazak, Wa, Hayat, Bashamayam, Lathananawa, Lakam, Ka, Yuwam, Wasalaknawa, Kawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawakinawa, Wala'a, Tabayanawa, Banasayawan, Abba, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rak, Ya, the Ka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahathapara, the Iwalamyam, Aman. In English, what we just read, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahaharya, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'aratazah, Ayanathan, Lamubat, Regalka, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Ana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yarishan, Sharamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yaramam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayra, Balayla, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makarai, Yashamar, Aknapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'aifa, Wa'ida Ulamyam. In English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth Israel, he that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Bless Israel, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barak Lanawa, Wa'yasha'Allah, Wahabayasaparia, Ba'ashem Yahushai Thuwaraman. Lord, in the name of Yahushai, bless us and Israel and the school. In the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. The prayer for power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Babakashah, Lathananawa, Haka, La Pa'a, Kamakala, Wakamaduwa, Haka, Lataha, Matazarayam, Haka, Laha Kayam, Hatamayam, Haka, Arakawa, Hatama'ala, Garshan, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Thuwaraman. Lord, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Men of Israel, Sar. I'm going to read the security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We also need brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3 verses 8-10. Ma'ashara, which means 10%, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatever amount you would like. Up and coming holy convocations. The next up and coming holy convocation is Hanukkah. It is December 17th. Salakia. Let me get right with you. Hanukkah is December 17th. Salakia, let me just find it real quick. Salakia, bear with me a moment. Good. All right. Hanukkah. Feast of Dedications, the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days, December 17, 2022, for 8 days. You can find it in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verses 52 to 61. Reminded to brothers and sisters to check the bulletin board if they're in a physical school, or check the website and check in with your camp leader for any up and coming information on events. Reminder to Akim and Akwathian, Salaki, if anybody wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black: boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim Barak, Yahweh Bashem Yashab Akatham, Yajamata. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. If you are in the presence of any sisters, Sar, which means turn toward the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Barak, Amajim Barak, Yahweh Shemar Alatham Ba'ashem Yahweh Yajamata, which means hands down. Dismissed. Again, Thuwada, again, Janice Bell for watching.